Welcome.
Welcome.
What have we called it? What
do we call it again?
Lights Out.
Lights Out.
We came up with this name
We came up with the same.
about 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. we were trying to set up the mics and we came up with a name.
Yeah.
But welcome to Lights Out.
That's it.
And away we go.
Looking forward to it.
I'm
Lights
looking
Out,
forward to it.
away we go.
Yeah.
That's honestly my favourite bit of... Well, it's not my favourite bit of every race, but I love that bit of every race.
It's a good bit.
Can you imagine if that was your favourite bit of every race? That's the only bit that you watched. Just the lights out and away we go. Oh, that's enough.
Yeah. Well, that's what you used to think before you got into Drive to Survive, wasn't it?
What's that?
You used to always be like...
You've just outed me already. That
I've
I'm a
already
Drive to
outed it.
Survive
I
fan.
mean, how long
You've
are we into
outed
this?
me
I don't know how long we're into this.
In the space of 5 minutes? Less than 5
Probably
minutes?
5 minutes, yeah.
You've outed me as a Drive to Survive fan, which nobody likes the Drive to Survive fans.
You are a Drive to Survive fan.
I am a Drive to Survive fan, but we could have waited a little bit longer for that to come up.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing.
Thank you.
Yeah. But I was
Everyone
gonna
else
say-
thinks it's a bad thing.
I was going to give a bit of history of us. So when we used to watch back in the day, it used to be like, oh, the best bits are the start and the end. Didn't you?
Yes.
You used to always say that.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. The start of the race is still really exciting every race.
Oh, yeah.
You still
it is
love-
one of the best bits.
Especially the first corner of every race.
Yeah.
That's always exciting.
Yeah. And then you were like, and the end is good. And I used to be like, no, but like the strategy's good and stuff. And
Yeah.
you never really understood it until you watched Drive to Survive.
I mean, obviously there's still so much I don't know.
Yeah.
You're obviously
I know a little bit more.
You know a lot more than I do because you've been a fan for your whole life.
2007, first season I watched.
Was it?
That I remember.
Yeah, so a very long time. So
Yeah.
you're a veteran. You're a veteran fan.
Yeah.
But the thing is with Drive to Survive, and the reason I became well done, mate. The reason I love it, or that it got me into it, is because you don't appreciate until you watch it how cutthroat the sport is.
Cutthroat.
Just cutthroat. So like,
It's interesting.
think of any other sport, anything, football, tennis, snooker, darts,
Yeah.
anything, whatever you want to think of.
Yeah.
There is, in F1, there is 20 people
Yeah.
every season that can do that sport. That is it. Obviously, the odd illness and they have to bring the third driver in or something. But that's it.
Yeah.
Every single year, 20 people on the whole planet can do this sport.
Yeah.
You can't even practice it. Your mates will go down to the park and play a bit of football.
Yeah.
You can't.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. You can't find a sport as cutthroat as F1.
Yeah. 30 including the reserve drivers, because you get one per team.
Of course.
So there's 30 only in one calendar year,
Yeah.
only 30 people will drive an F1 car.
Yeah. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But in the whole, that's one of the reasons. Obviously, there's loads of other reasons.
Yeah.
But that was one of the reasons that I thought, this is so sick.
Yeah.
And then all the money behind it, all the glamour behind it, I love that too.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
It's so good. But Drive to Survive is the thing that made me go,
Yeah. I mean, the glamour comes with Lewis Hamilton.
true.
But
That's great.
Yeah.
Love
he
Yeah, but the
basically-
Monaco Grand Prix has always been glamorous, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
I love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Even though you can't overtake on that. It's literally
Don't get me
probably the
started.
most boring race. But
It is the most boring
it's
race.
so good at the same time.
Yeah. It's the most boring race of the season.
Yeah.
But it's a thrill to drive, I bet. I've never driven it, obviously.
Obviously.
But I've driven it in the F1
Go-karts
game.
as far as we go.
Yeah, go-karts as far as we go.
You're a good little go-karter, you are.
Yeah, I got a little trophy.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and I won my birthday.
Yeah.
Came third place, got a little trophy.
Smashed us all by a long way. We suck. I'm so bad.
I came third. Their two sign drivers came first and second, and I beat their reserve driver that day.
No way.
He crashed.
No way.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
that's
He crashed
horrible.
right at the beginning, and he just couldn't get past me. Like, as in, he caught up to me like probably 2 laps left, and I just defended. I still remember it. It was the highlight of my year.
Yeah. I bet.
Life.
Highlight of your life.
Highlight of my life.
Come on in. Let's talk more F1.
Talk more F1. Right.
You wanted to start with Red Bull, didn't you?
I did want to start with Red Bull.
There's always loads of topic around Red Bull. There's loads of stuff that we can talk about.
Red Bull did phenomenal this year, I think.
Very good. Obviously.
Yeah.
What's it? Max won, 15 races out of the 22?
15
That's ridiculous.
races, and Perez won 2.
Congratulations, Perez.
Yeah.
I mean, 2. That's still 2.
No,
wins.
3. The Perez won 3. He
No,
won
won 2.
Singapore, Monaco, and Baku. Won 3.
3.
3 races.
1, 2. So that's a very dominant Red Bull season,
It's a very.
even though they didn't have the fastest car.
Would you say that?
Well, they weren't the fastest car in quali. Ferraris were.
Yeah, 0.04% on average
Is
faster.
that what it was?
Yeah.
I mean,
Throughout the season.
that's margins, isn't it?
It's margins, but it's still fastest. But I'd argue they had the fastest car. They had the
On
fastest
race
race pace car.
They're the fastest race pace car.
Yeah, the Ferrari ate up his tires. The Red Bull was just optimized. So like Max and that Red Bull was phenomenal.
Yeah. Harmony.
Phenomenal. Yes,
Harmony.
that was harmony between a car. We watched like, do you remember Hungary? We were at Hungary.
We were at Hungary.
We were literally at Hungary.
We were.
Like,
it was fun, wasn't it?
That was great. Oh, when George got pole.
George got pole.
Yeah.
What a moment. Oh, the place went mental.
So for context, we went to Hungarian Grand Prix. That was like our first ever. Well, I've been to F1 before at Silverstone, but it was our first time going together.
Yeah.
And that was unreal holiday.
Yeah.
We went out with Zara as well, one of our friends.
Yeah.
And that was just unreal. But we didn't think Max was going to win from 10th.
No, not at all.
No, not
we
at
were
all.
like, we were adamant George was going to have a great race.
Yeah.
We were like, George has forgot this. Zara's obviously loves Max.
Big Max fan.
Big
So
Max.
she thought
She was buzzing.
Yeah, she was unreal. I mean, I was happy with Hamilton P2.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was happy. Just the whole weekend was great.
Yeah.
The whole atmosphere is so
unreal.
sick.
Yeah.
Never been to anything like that.
No. It was a lot better than Silverstone 2016 in terms of the atmosphere because of all the new fans that have been coming in. It's a very different atmosphere now.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Drive to Survive fans. Really?
Yes, yeah. But we're getting off topic. But Max is like, he was unreal. And then you get Spa as well.
Yeah.
He started 14th, finished 18 seconds ahead of second place.
That's mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
again, they must be thinking, thank goodness for a dominant season, considering how dominant Mercedes have been over the last.
I think what Red Bull wanted was, especially after 2021, is a season that they dominate and there's no drama.
Yeah.
And I think
they needed it.
They needed it, but they didn't get it.
No.
And that's budget cap. I think Max's camp, because it's not even Max's fault. He has no.
Of course it's not. He can only drive the car.
Yeah.
He can't.
And they spent what? I've got it written down here. They spent 432k, what you said in the car earlier.
Yeah. 432.
432k, that's what I think that's like a tenth a lap. That's not the difference between why Red Bull won this season and not. But I think that's going to leave an asterisk against Max's second championship now. And I don't think
he's had two
Max
controversial championships now.
Yeah. Really controversial.
Really controversial ones.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. And it's a shame.
It
is a shame because the talent that he's got, he deserves to win.
Yeah.
Two championships.
Yeah, definitely. He's a 4 or 5 time world champion easy.
Yeah,
in the right car.
agree.
In the right car.
Yeah.
He is.
So long as Red Bull are always up there. So I think he can still do it with Red Bull.
Yeah, Red Bull are always in the mix.
They're always in the mix.
Yeah.
They're one of the bigger teams, aren't they? So they're always going to be
Which is funny because, they started in 2006?
2006?
Maybe 2005?
Drinks company.
Yeah.
Started with energy drinks. But they're massive.
Drinks company. I mean,
Red
they
Bull
always,
is massive.
yeah. The fact that they're always in the mix. But I feel bad for Camp Max. I think that it's a bit undeserved that he has to deal with that again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they're the only ones who made a mistake.
Yeah. And like you say, it is a team at the end of the day. And as a team, they have to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Generally, together
as a team. Yeah.
As a team.
Yeah.
But obviously him down to personally, it's hard to say, isn't it?
Yeah. It's hard.
But I still think he deserves that because he drove an incredible season.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
And
I don't think.
it.
What would you say is your favourite race of his this season, if you can remember?
Oh God. Oh, I don't know. Don't make me do it.
Don't make me do it.
Don't make me do it.
I can list off a few. So Saudi is when he got that win against Leclerc. Don't know if you remember watching that one. That's where they kept battling over the DRS.
Yeah.
You got Imola, and Miami. Both ones where he beat Leclerc on the straight out pace.
Shows how good Leclerc was this season as well.
Yeah, that's when the Ferrari's competitive though.
Yeah.
And then after that, it goes to the Red Bull being dominant and Max being so in one with the car.
Mm.
The fact that in Spa, the odds of Max winning were higher than, I think, Carlos Sainz winning. And Carlos Sainz was starting, maybe? There's one is Max starting 14th had higher odds than on most of the grid for winning.
That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah,
Doesn't surprise me at all.
yeah,
Because he was always going to make up places. But even to come back into first, it's ridiculous.
absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
yeah, I can't believe it. But I mean, I'm not the biggest Max fan, but when I was watching that, and
You have
then
to
he was
appreciate it,
just
don't
yeah. You have to enjoy those kind of drivers.
What do you think about Ricardo going into the third?
It's an interesting one. I think.
seat?
I think the
Reserve driver,
the hard thing is the sim is never like real life. So
of course.
they have this seat available for 2024. That's when Perez's contract's up.
Yeah. Do you
Ricardo,
reckon he'll get it?
well, Ricardo is coming in. He needed a break, which is what Red Bull are giving him. He's not going to every race this season. He's going to do a lot of PR, but he's not going to every race. He's getting a break. He'll do some time in the sim.
Yeah.
It's a more pointy car. He prefers a pointy car. But this is a whole new set of regulations where the cars are just heavier and less pointy in general compared to 2014 onwards. So
King of the late breakers.
he is a king of late breakers, but then Perez is also one of the best at saving tyres. So
Yeah.
if you had to pick, who would you pick?
Out of them two,
Yeah.
at this very moment, for this season, I would choose Perez.
Yeah, same.
For this season.
For this season. 2024, though, that's when it's going to be.
I think Ricardo's really... Well, he's dropped off, hasn't he? He dropped off since he left the Red Bull, and for whatever reason, whatever his reasoning was.
Yeah.
We don't know. He says he wants a new challenge, but
I know
mean,
why he left Red Bull because, especially after the Baku crash
Yeah,
in 2018,
Yeah.
he knew Red Bull
yeah,
favouring Max because Max was
of course.
Max was matching. Like Ricardo was still. Ricardo beat him in 2016 and 2017.
Mm-hmm.
They were pretty much even in 2018, apart from reliability. You think if you take out reliability,
The reliability was awful.
Max
that
and
season.
Ricciardo were the same.
Yeah,
So
that was when they bumped into the back of each other, wasn't it? Or
Yeah.
Ricardo went into the back of...
I don't know. Or Verstappen made a
Or
late move.
Verstappen. Yeah.
You know, that's a hard.
Verstappen has a lot of controversial moments.
He
doesn't
does, yeah. So does Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah. But anyway,
Leclerc
without
doesn't.
getting
Leclerc is a nice driver.
he's good. He's a clean driver.
He's a clean
But
driver.
without getting sidetracked,
Yeah.
I think again. I think.
So you would take Perez this season?
100%.
I would
I
take
take
Perez
Perez this season. Ricardo needs the break. You can't
does.
put him in the car.
Like I say, so he left Red Bull,
Yeah.
went to Renault,
Yeah.
and it all went slightly kind of downhill. I feel when he went to McLaren with Lando, I thought he might do well again. I
Yeah.
thought, maybe just it couldn't work with because he just really struggled with the Renault. And I thought, you never
He
know.
was good with the Renault.
Was he?
Yeah, he was good with the Renault. He was actually good with the Renault. He got a few podiums. He left because he thought that there was a higher ceiling at McLaren. If he stayed at Renault, he would have done a lot better.
Do you reckon?
Yeah, 100. I'd stand by that.
I thought
Yeah,
he struggled with the Renault. It always sounds like that he struggled with it.
he didn't. He genuinely did. He did well. He got them podiums and stuff. He managed to get Cyril a tattoo on him, getting a podium. Yeah.
That's quality.
I'm trying to think what race it was.
What was the race where he backed up into?
That's Baku.
Was that Baku?
Yeah.
Wait, is that the same race he bumped into?
No. Because he was in Renault then. So that was Baku, like 2019.
No, but is it the same track?
Yes.
It's the same track. He's had two stinkers in a row.
Two stinkers
It's
in
the
a row.
same track. So I didn't look behind me.
No, I think if Perez doesn't get P2 in the championship, then they should give Ricardo a shot. I think they should put Ricardo
So
out.
talented. It's such a talented driver not to have a C. But like you say, he needs the break.
His operating window is too small. Like if you think he just couldn't adapt to that McLaren. A
Yeah.
great driver could have,
Yeah.
but he couldn't.
Where would you put him on the ranking of?
We're talking prime or overall?
I'm talking last season as a driver.
Last season, I would put him below. I put Bottas ahead of him.
Interesting.
I would put.
Bottas does quite well in that Alpha.
I'd put Stroll ahead of him. I would put Stroll ahead of him.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think Stroll had his on and off days. I think Ricardo had off days.
Yeah, very bad off days.
Whereas I think Stroll
Yeah,
had
horrible
more.
season.
Stroll had more times he was on, even though he was still a bad driver. Not even that bad, but Ricardo had off days.
Yeah, many off days.
Many off
He
days.
really
Yeah,
struggled.
it was. Yeah,
Just in jail, did he? He didn't jail.
he couldn't work out. He couldn't figure out the brakes. I think I read somewhere that the McLaren stalls, like the aero stalls under braking, and that basically meant that. So as a driver, when you're braking into a corner, you're already looking at the exit. So what Ricardo said he would feel is he'd brake, be looking at the exit, and then suddenly be like, "How am I?" And then when he gets to the apex, he'd be like, "Wait, how am I here? How am I not like close to the apex there?"
Yeah.
Which basically means you just lose your confidence.
Yeah.
As a
You
driver.
lose your confidence in the car,
Yeah.
and then once you've lost your confidence in the car,
No,
might as well drive a Prius.
pretty much. Yeah.
Maybe not quite.
I mean, they'd be so much faster than us. In a Prius. Imagine that. Imagine them racing us in a Prius. I could be in an F1 car and they would beat me.
in a Prius. Well, the Prius is a good car. If you've got a Prius, you're doing a good job. 'Cause a
Prius is a good car.
Priuses are cool.
Yeah, Prius is a good car. What do you
yes.
think of Perez's and Max's relationship?
It's not super toxic.
Yeah.
There's been some in the paddock that have been really toxic. Really toxic.
Hamilton, Rosberg.
Hamilton Rosberg. That was horrible.
Hamilton, Alonso.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Do you know much about Hamilton and Alonso?
I don't.
No.
Let's not go into that today.
Yeah, we can talk about that next
We'll
time.
talk about that another time. Well, I think they're always going to butt heads.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, Perez and Verstappen, because they're both very proud drivers. I think they're always going to butt heads.
Yeah.
Eventually, they probably. I reckon as it comes to the end of Perez's contract, I think that you'll start to see more headbutting.
Do you know what? I
been-
think of it the other way. I think Perez knows he's the number 2 driver, especially in 2020.
Everyone knows he's the number 2 driver.
Yeah, but a lot of drivers who are number 2s don't realise they're number 2.
Well, they're not going to get told that. There's no way they're going to be given a contract and be like,
someone like
"You're
Carlos
number 2."
Sainz. If Carlos Sainz gets in a battle with Leclerc, and they're like let Leclerc through for a championship sort of thing, and
Yeah.
Sainz is also battling for the championship.
Yeah.
I think Sainz would take that a lot worse than Perez would take it. I think Perez is more aware he's a second driver.
But would you say that is just because he is the second driver to Max? Because if let's say Sainz was the second driver to Max,
Sainz would.
do you reckon Sainz would say, "Oh, I know I'm a second driver"?
No. I think Sainz is faster than Perez, but he's not quite fast enough. He's on that cusp where it would be harder for him to accept himself as a second driver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he wants to be. Well, they all want to be number 1, but he wants to be the first driver. And I think maybe Perez, like you say, is happier. Well, he's not happy, but understands that he's more in that second seat role.
Yeah. Yeah.
And helping the team. And then that comes on, you were speaking about if Leclerc and Sainz were passing, well, that brings us on to the Max saying that he doesn't want to let Perez pass in that race
Brazil.
in Brazil.
For
And he was like,
6th
"No."
place.
He was like, "No." He's like, "I've spoken about this."
Well, that's why.
happening.
That's why I wanted to ask the question, because do you think after that the relationship can be repaired? I think no.
No.
I don't
Absolutely
think,
not.
I think all
It's a
that
very
trust is just-
selfish thing to do.
Yeah. For 6th place.
Yeah.
And I get it. I get why. He wanted to win Monaco. He's won 15 races this season.
Yeah.
Perez needed P2 in the championship. The amount of money Perez would have got for P2 in the championship compared to P3, I know money's not really a thing for these drivers. But it was
Maybe
also
not
a
for
thing.
him because he's got all his sponsorships from Mexico, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Mexican
Yeah, he'll get
sponsorships.
loads.
He's got money for that anyway, but
it's still a big deal.
it's still a big deal.
Yeah.
And you want to be P2?
Yeah.
Why would you want to be?
Why would you want to be P3 in the championship?
Exactly.
In a car that has dominated the championship.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And I don't think that that's going to be repaired.
No. They'll be civil, but I don't think I don't think they'll ever.
So
It
then
is
you're
so
like,
selfish because
so what would happen? Let's say Max needs to win the championship, but it's like Singapore. Perez in the lead, Max is in second. A few races left. Team asks Perez to let him by. I don't think he'll let him by.
hope he doesn't.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, because if Max is going to do that in a race that where it's only for 6th place,
Yeah.
he's not. Sainz Perez isn't going to do it in a big even in a bigger moment than that one.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? When the big moment comes, he's going to go, no.
No. But do you ever think Perez will be in that situation though?
No.
Do you think he's fast enough to be in that situation?
Personally, no.
Because at least he dominated Singapore.
Yeah.
Monaco he won, but it's Monaco.
It's Monaco. Yeah. Yeah.
Baku he won. Did anything happen to? Well, Leclerc went out really, but what happened to Max in Baku? I can't remember.
Neither can I.
No,
You're the resident expert. You tell me.
I've forgotten what happened to Max in Baku. To be honest, I can only remember 2021 where his tire decided to blow up.
Oh yeah, the random puncture.
Yeah, but I can't remember what happened this year. But
We can find that out later.
yeah, we can find out later. But Perez, I don't think he'll even be in that position. I think the car's too difficult to drive for him.
He's still done very well with that car.
Has he?
Yeah.
3 wins in a car that's won 15 other wins?
But then he's fighting Max, isn't he? And he's the number 2 driver.
Should be getting more, in my opinion.
Interesting. You think he's talented enough?
I think he should get more in a car like that.
Where do you put him in the list?
But I don't think the Red Bull is suited for him. I think he's an understeer driver. This Red Bull's very oversteery, which suits Max. But an understeer car has a lower ceiling, in my opinion, in terms of there's just less of a gap between the best and the worst in an understeered car. In an oversteered car, there's a much bigger gap. And that's why I think that when you ever see a second driver next to Max, they always look so much worse than they are. Because an oversteered car, just like Max is able to get it right on the limit all the time.
Yeah.
These drivers can't, so they're slightly off it, and it makes the gap a lot bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do they oversteer so much?
Max likes a really pointy front end. So you turn in the front goes quickly, rear starts to oversteer a bit.
And then he has to just
He just has such a feel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's used to that car as well now, isn't he? He's been there so many years.
He's used to Adrian Newey's design philosophy.
Yeah.
But
And they'll, because a new driver will come in and it'll be completely different.
completely
different.
And
they'll be like, the philosophy's, like you say, it's completely different.
it's going to be interesting.
Very.
I think it'll be interesting to see what they do for 2024. I think if Perez doesn't get 4 wins,
2024 or 2023?
2023, if Perez doesn't get 4 wins, I think Ricciardo might be going in.
Yeah.
I think he has to top what he did this year, 3 wins, 4.
Minimum,
In my opinion.
But that's because you never know what Mercedes is.
Well, you don't know. That's the
Mercedes.
thing. You don't know if Mercedes is going to come in. You don't know if Ferrari's going to come in.
What's that?
It could just get a lot more competitive.
Yeah.
So maybe it's a ratio then. So he got 1/5 of Max's wins. I think he has to get a quarter of Max's wins next season.
Yeah.
I think that's a
keep
better
his-
metric. So if Max gets 8, he has to
Offer
get
him
2.
another contract.
Yeah, to extend his contract.
And
And I think that he has to play as a number 2 driver. I think he has to just be menial to it. So that's what I was saying earlier. You know how I was like, I think at the end of the season, I think he'll be more willing to move over.
Yeah.
Because if his contract isn't signed, he's going to be like, well, I'm just going to do what I say. I want to drive.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's got so bad that he wants to leave.
Do you think it would be more of like a Bottas-Hamilton
Relationship.
100%.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah. But Bottas knows he's number 2.
he knew he was number 2, but he was also still driving, and he still won quite a few races over the past.
Yeah. How many did he win in total? Like
Dunno.
12, 15?
Yeah, still won quite a few races, considering how dominant Lewis was.
Yeah. But I think that's how dominant the car was.
That's how yes as well. Yeah.
Crazy car.
Well, of course, revolutionary vehicles. And then last bit,
Yeah.
2021 final race controversy. Because we were talking about this earlier, and
We were talking about this earlier. It just popped into your head. Yeah.
Yes, we were talking about.
It's a tough subject. We're both Hamilton fans, if you didn't know.
We are, but we're
Tell
going to
us
be
how.
impartial.
Yeah.
We're going to be impartial.
It's bullshit.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a touchy
Well,
subject.
it's touchy, and
It's like
Max fans will be laughing. The thing is, the way I think about it is if that was Lewis, if it was the other way around,
yeah.
I would be like Red Bull and just be like,
I'd be so smart.
"Oi!" Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't. I'd just be like, well, tough. They've given it to us now, so whatever. Too late.
Yeah,
Do you know what I
I'd
mean?
be
That's how
smart.
I would be. So, I mean, fair play to him. I mean, yeah. Those aren't the rules. They decided not to stick to the rules.
It's a clear break of the rules. I think that
Do you know exactly we need to find and have a look? Because you did send it to me that day.
Yeah. Well,
that day, literally 5 minutes after you sent me the little the rule
I
in the rule book.
I have a link to the rule book.
And it was like it's just a blatant violation of the rules.
All cars must pass and one racing lap must be completed before the safety car can restart.
Yeah, which didn't happen.
Yeah.
I know that they wanted to do it for entertainment.
It's for TV.
And for TV. And whatever other reason. To make it, make it exciting.
All it's done it's ruined Max's first championship. I don't think it'll go anywhere. But then, end of the day, 80 years' time, people will be like double world champion, won't they?
Yeah.
So
no one's going to... Well, people are going to talk about it in...
I think it'll be talked for
80 years' time.
But at the same time, he's a double world champion. He's got those two of those... Well, he doesn't... He'll have replicas of the trophies at home.
Yeah. And to be honest, I wouldn't care if it was me. I wouldn't care. I'd be like, yep, tough, they're mine.
Yeah. I think he cares more about the cost cap breach.
Yes.
I think he will, because I think he'll feel like Red Bull have let him down.
Yeah. I don't know. Well, has he said that? Have you heard him in an interview say that?
I've not heard it. He's not said just they're all very PR trained. I just think that out of the two, I think that he'll be more bothered by the cost cap breach, putting an asterisk on his world championship, than 2021 ending, put an asterisk on his world championship.
I love the fact that it's just too controversial. Well, really, see, now we're talking about it, I don't know what I'd be more annoyed about. I feel like if it was me, I'd be more annoyed about the first one. Would he not be more annoyed about the first one? Because it's obviously both of them are breaches of the rules.
Yeah.
Complete breaches.
Yeah.
But keep in mind that the first one, actually, no, you might be right, because
the first one,
the breach gap would have been premeditated. They know they're outgoing.
Yeah.
So they know that they were going to go over.
They know they're outgoing.
They know that, yeah. No, yeah, actually, I agree with you. Now that I've worked out in my head, I agree with you.
Because all he wanted was...
Because that could have been a split second decision on the 2021 final race in Dubai.
Yeah. It was.
Abu Dhabi. Is it Abu Dhabi?
Abu Dhabi, yeah.
I can never remember between the two. I was getting mixed up.
So, yeah, Abu Dhabi, yeah.
Abu Dhabi. No, I mean just the places. I get mixed up.
All right.
Abu Dhabi and Dubai. If someone says one of them... Anyway, in Abu Dhabi, it might have just been someone hot-headed, split second decision, and then... That's that.
Someone hot-headed, Michael Massey.
Exactly. Hot-headed decision.
Yeah.
And he's won the championship. Okay, but this one, like you said, premeditated. They know what they're spending.
Yeah.
And they've decided categorically to go and spend too much.
Yeah.
So you would probably more annoyed that one.
Yeah. Because also,
I'd love to know who that person is.
Because of 2021, they coming into the season like, we just want a dominant, clean season. And he drove clean. Apart from in Brazil, which that was his only crash of the season, maybe. Yeah,
that I can remember.
Yeah, so he drove clean. He did everything he needed to do, and again, there's an asterisk.
Yeah.
So I think
2 years, and it's not even like it's 2 years in a row.
2 years in a row. Yeah, and his only world championships.
There's definitely someone said to me about Lewis's championship. What was it, the 2008 one?
2007, there was a Spygate, but he didn't win that championship.
Was that what it was?
Do you know Spygate?
I've heard about this, but I've not, because obviously I wasn't a fan back then, so I don't.
So a McLaren guy basically stole Ferrari documents.
You did tell me.
Yeah, and the reason he got caught was he went to his local place in, I think, Brackley, or wherever McLaren headquarters are, like Enstone maybe?
Yeah.
Or Milton Keynes. Milton Keynes? No, that's Red Bull.
No idea.
So he went there and went to like a shop to get it the documents photocopied.
Right.
The person who's photocopying them saw Ferrari classified on it and was a fan of F1. Contacted Ferrari, said someone's come in like photocopying these documents. Is that right? And then that is what exposed them.
That's lucky.
They got £100 million fine.
Yeah, deservedly.
Yeah, but £100 million.
It's a lot of money. What's the cost cap this year?
143, you say?
Something like that.
Something 140.
100 million. That's a good chunk out of a whole season's cost cap.
Yeah.
Obviously now. Back then as well. 100 million back then.
Yeah.
It's even more.
Yeah.
That's mental.
Mental.
Yeah.
Absolutely crazy.
Two right, you could cheating sod.
Yeah, so that was 2007 though. That's when
Oh, so Lewis, he hadn't
didn't
had
win.
any
He was 1 point
controversial-
off winning the World Championship.
Of course,
That one.
yes.
Yeah, first ever rookie
It's all stuff
season.
that I remember when you say it.
Yeah.
Like, he's told me about this.
Yeah. Rookie season, 1 point off winning.
And Max won his Grand Prix in his debut, didn't he?
Yep, first ever race.
First ever race.
Yeah.
Only learned that recently.
First
That's
ever race.
That's a hell of a feat.
First ever race for Red Bull. So he'd already raced in 2015.
Yeah.
So he won in 2016.
That's mad.
Yeah, it's mad.
That's cool.
He was
Mad
how
doing
old?
that.
He was 17.
18? 17?
I think he was too young to drink on the podium.
Was he?
I think so. Don't quote me. Don't
Can you
quote me.
imagine?
I think so.
Big massive bottle of champagne. It's like, yes.
It's like in they use in like Abu Dhabi and stuff. They use sparkling
There's
water.
sparkling water, don't they?
Yeah.
Ugh. Sparkling. Do you
It
like,
sounds like it was
do you like
sting your
sparkling
eyes. No, just drink normal water.
Do you know what's- yeah. Do you know what's weird though? I had a sparkling water the other day. Didn't mind it. Really weird. It's like my taste buds are changing.
Oh.
I would still rather normal water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sparkling water is not like satisfying.
Oh, the other day it was.
Really?
The other day I was like, I'm thirsty, and there was where was I? I was coming back from Barnsley,
Yeah.
and I was a bit hungover. And I went to the shop, went and bought a bottle, and I was like, normal water. I thought it was just
You thought it was normal water.
But I drank it. I was like, you know what? I don't even care at this point.
That's
Just gonna
hilarious.
drink it.
That is hilarious. You're the worst for liking sparkling water. I'm going to get you some and make you drink
No,
it from
please
now on.
don't.
I'm going to make you drink all
I'd
this
still
sparkling
rather normal water,
Yeah.
please. But yeah,
So if you were on the podium, at least you'd enjoy it.
I'd love it if I was on the podium, especially with
Just drink it,
with
don't
Max.
spray it.
Just spray it at me. That'd be perfect.
How well do you think Red Bull are going to do this year? Overall,
I think they could win another championship. You know,
I think they're
Max
clear.
could
I
win
think they're
another
clear
championship.
favourites
I
for
think
the
Max could win
championship.
another.
Yeah,
I really do.
I think if
I think he's
the cost cap and the cost cap reduction and the wind tunnel reduction will only see the effects of that in 2024. They're coming in with the strongest car,
Yeah.
and we're able to stop developing it and just focus on next season. They're coming in and they're going to be quick.
Yeah.
They're going to be so quick.
Yeah.
I don't see.
what
I think
you-
I see a bit of a 2011-ish Sebastian Vettel season where he'll finish like on the podium every race but one. Which, in my opinion,
Wow, I didn't even know that.
in my opinion, that's Sebastian Vettel's. I've got a bit of a hot take here. That's Sebastian Vettel's best season ever. I think it's better.
I can't even. I
think it's better
challenge
than-
you on that.
I think
I'm
it's
just
better
gonna
than
have to take your word for it.
2013. I think he had more competition and he was more dominant. 2013.
How many races did you say? All of them bar one.
Yeah, the only race he didn't come on the
my
podium.
God.
The only race he didn't come on the podium was the Nürburgring. I think. I'm pretty sure.
We'll have to look that later. But that is
Yeah.
an incredible
Yeah.
season. That's how dominant that Red Bull was.
Yeah. Well, no, but that's the thing. I don't think the car was that far ahead. I think the driver was that
You
far
just think
ahead.
Vettel was just
I think
that
Vettel
season.
smashed it that season. I
Well, to
I
win
hated
four,
Vettel back in the day.
Did you? Everyone loves him now.
Everyone just
Everyone loves him. There's I don't know what
I'm
it
gonna
is.
fact check
Now that he has stopped being in like contention, and he wasn't such a threat. I feel like people have started to like him more. Is that just me?
He's just a good guy.
He is a great guy, good human being, great human being.
Right, I'm typing in 2011 stats. So
I mean, to do 4 championships in a row, and obviously, nobody's really done what. Has Schumacher done 4 championships in a row?
I was right about this.
Go on.
But so he came on the podium every single race apart from the German Grand Prix, so his home Grand Prix. So I was right about that, but I completely forgot. So opening lap in Abu Dhabi, takes the first corner. So you know how it goes out, takes the first corner, goes on the outside curb, gets a puncher, goes off. In Abu Dhabi.
No way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look all this up later. This is exciting stuff.
So I
need
think
to watch all this.
I personally think 2011 was Sebastian Vettel's best year because 2013 they overdeveloped the car, so the car just became unreal as well.
Right.
Whereas 2011, it was the best car on the grid, but it wasn't that far ahead of the McLarens, Ferraris. Well, the Ferraris quite off, but the McLarens.
So, okay, so you're saying, So
How do we even get to here? Yeah,
How many points did he get the whole season?
392, but there was only 19 races.
Okay, so slightly fewer races. That's still ridiculous.
Guess how many pole positions?
I'm going to guess every race.
No.
Okay.
That's be ridiculous.
Yeah, I know that would be ridiculous, but because you said it like that, it made me think that the most ridiculous thing ever had happened. Okay.
No.
Out of the 19 races, I'm going to say 12.
15.
It's still ridiculous.
15. Ridiculous.
Still ridiculous.
I remember, I don't know how many fans remember this, but in Melbourne, which was the first Grand Prix of the season, he does a lap and he does his first lap in Q3 and he's like almost a second ahead. And I remember he just got out.
Q3?
Yeah.
Right.
And I was like, what have I just seen?
Yeah.
And then everyone else did. Then he just got out, didn't do a second lap. Everyone else did their second lap. And I think they've dropped the gap down a bit. Okay. But I remember thinking, as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is going to be like Sebastian Vettel's going to win this season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like no doubt in your mind.
No doubt, yeah. He used to be amazing at qualifying. He kind of lost it a bit when he went to Aston Martin.
Yeah.
I think he just got old. I just think he lost his love for it.
Maybe he did. Maybe that's what's happening with Hamilton right now.
No. I think no. I think that Sebastian Vettel lost his love because he was going, like, he had a wife, he had kids. Hamilton doesn't have a wife and kids. True. Hamilton's life is F1 and partying. Yeah.
Getting out on
with Rihanna.
To be fair, that's a good person to have a party with.
He's a good person.
I would go and do that too. If I was him, if I was Lewis, I'd be like, yeah, I'm going to go and have a party with Rihanna. Screw F1.
That's so funny.
Oh, that's pretty. To be fair, how long have we been going?
1,207 seconds. I don't understand. Yeah.
I think that's good.
It's pretty good. Well,
that's awesome. If you listened,
yeah,
we did this for fun
thanks
anyway.
For like the two people, Rachel and Rosie.
Yeah.
And maybe Zara. Zara might listen as well.
Yeah, 3 people.
Yeah. Thanks for the 3 people who've listened.
Yeah. Don't worry if you don't.
If someone who isn't
do it
them,
anyway, if you're not listening or not.
Yeah, drop us a message if you're not them and you've listened.
Yeah.
At JJ Mahason.
Yeah, please do.
All right, anyway. All right. Well,
that's from Lights Out Podcast.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See you soon.